Myself, 32, and husband, 34, have been together for over 8 years. In this time, a lot has changed within his family that mean I no longer feel comfortable visiting his family, especially as his brother lives very close to my mother-in-law. I feel extremely bad about it, and have only gone to visit once this year during a birthday when BIL husband's brother was guaranteed to not be around. To cut a long story short, my BIL is a registered sex offender caught viewing CSAM a few years ago. Since the case and consequential community service sentence, I really do not feel comfortable around him. I was abused and groomed as a child, so it's particularly difficult for me to look him in the eye, smile at him, and act like I respect him. I am still astonished at how the family have brushed it all under the carpet, absolved him of all guilt and made excuses for him. The only one who hasn't is my husband, but he still has contact and visits BIL to make his mom happy and keep the peace. I have zero right to police my husband and how he chooses to handle it, as this is a very personal and traumatizing thing to find out about your sibling, so please refrain from judging my husband. However, I cannot in good faith have any relationship or contact with my BIL. I really tried to 1 to 2 years after the whole ordeal, pretending I didn't find it nauseating and dealing with the multiple anxiety attacks afterwards just from being in his presence. To add to this, my BIL isn't the nicest person and always found a way to criticize me for doing nice things, e.g. telling me that I was dumb for helping my MIL clean her house, criticizing any meal I made for my in-laws to the point other family members had to chime in and get him to stop, and just being generally asshole-wide to me before the whole sex offender thing happened. Still, I was always nice to him, pretending his words and actions didn't make me feel uncomfortable. After speaking to my therapist at the time, we explored the option of no contact as it got to a point where I realized I couldn't do that even on a limited basis, and my husband knows and is fine with this. Here comes the issue. The rest of the family do not know I feel this way. I do not feel like I can tell my MIL the truth without her being incredibly hurt and it causing a huge rift. I am non-confrontational and do not wish to cause any more hurt, so this is not an option that I feel is viable for me. Luckily, I have been able to avoid Christmases by visiting my family who live in another continent, but this year we visited earlier in the year, so I will not be going back this Christmas. I also have been able to avoid visiting MIL for most birthdays, holidays, etc. by my husband making various excuses for me. My MIL asked if I would be spending Christmas with them, and I said I wasn't, creating an excuse that I had to look after our pets. But then she's been asking why I don't just come during the festive period. I have politely declined, but she is really hurt about this, which I totally understand looks like me just avoiding the family and her. I feel eventually it may become more and more of an issue. My husband has said we can work towards me spending next year New Year's with them, and even though I initially agreed, I do not understand how I am supposed to be fake and smile, but I do not want to make my husband sad. I feel like such an asshole that I can't be around these people, and I feel like they are starting to dislike me for it, not sure what to do. I just don't understand how it doesn't bother anyone and how they can all just pretend it's all okay. We have decided we want to try for kids in the next 2 years, but I do not want my future child anywhere near my BIL. I seriously have no idea how I handle the future. Well, AITA? P.S. Sorry for any issues with grammar, I am not a native English speaker. TLDR, no contact with BIL, as he is a registered sex offender and overall not a nice person, but this is causing issues with MIL as I won't be there for Christmas.